So I'm going to jump over to my development site. Now we're going to hop over to Gary's site in just a minute, but let's make a modification here and then export it as an update to our feature module. So on this site, what we're going to do is change the number of rows in our body field that display. So I'm going to click on Structure, Content Types, Manage Fields, Edit next to the body input, and then I'm going to scroll down, and for rows, I'm going to put 10 instead of 20. And then I'm going to click Save Settings. Now, if we go back to our feature listing, we'll see that the state is now overridden. Let's export this into code by recreating, and then we don't need to add any new components, so let's just go ahead and download the feature. I'm going to go ahead and expand the tarball, and then I'm just going to copy all of the files inside of the module, and I'm going to go over to our Sites All Modules Features folder inside of our Articles folder, and I'm going to paste all of these in, overwriting everything that's there. Now I'm going to go back to the browser and go back to the features listings, and now we'll see that the state is default. So if we jump to the command line and do a quick diff, I'm going to skip over to the development environment here, and I'm going to clear the back scroll, and I'm going to do git diff. We'll see the changes that we made to our component. Now there's actually quite a few changes here that we didn't explicitly make. For example, this required change from false to 0, the display summary is 1, the text processing is 1. None of this is stuff that we selected, we just changed the number of rows. The reason this is happening is that when we originally exported this field, we hadn't modified the field at all yet. And so there were a number of properties that weren't explicitly set, but that were using the defaults. And so some of these properties were added, like active here, because when we saved the form, we also saved all of the defaults. And for some of the settings, the value in the form is a little bit different than the one that gets added by default when Drupal is installed. So for example, this required here, false and 0, equate to the same thing inside of code, but when we saved the form, it changed the value to what was inside of the form. So the next time that we make a modification to this field by saving that form, this is going to look a whole lot cleaner, and we're not going to have all of these updates that happen the first time that we submit the form. Okay, I'm going to hit Q to exit out of Vim, and now let's go ahead and make a commit. I'm going to first do a git status just to make sure that we've modified only the things that we intended on modifying. Okay, looks good. And then let's go ahead and do a git commit. I'll pass it the A parameter to skip staging. And for the message, I'm putting change the number of rows for the body description field to 10. And I'm going to hit enter. Okay, that committed it. And now let's go ahead and push it. Okay, now our change is in sync with the remote repository.